recently due to health issues. We've also got our John Hemming out there, another one of our regulars here, as well as Spencer Bishop. But in addition to our regulars, we've got some very welcome visitors from Stanlake. We've got John and Les Hatch and Richard Edmonds as well in the very smart sign written 626 machine at the back. So welcome to those guys. And already we've got Spencer Bishop gone round. Oh gosh, and he's collected. John Hemming's caught him, as has Richard Edmonds. So contact early on in this one. As John Hemmings gets it very sideways coming out of the car park bend. I think he's in a safe position there. We will go to the stewards to know whether we're going to pause this one or not. So it looks like all the drivers know he's there and he's off the racing line. So it's Mark Francis that leads this one at the moment from Terry Gallagher with our visitor Les Hatch, and indeed we do go to wave yellows now. Doesn't look like Spencer's going to get that car going again, so we need to get him out of that position. I wouldn't fancy him sitting there either. These stock rods are very, very quick. So after a bit of contact there, Spencer Bishop got caught up and is out of this one, so we'll recover Spencer to a safe place, and then we will look at restarting this one with Mark Francis. Let's Hatch a little bit keen there on the restart. This is a rolling conditions until the green flag drops, so no overtaking until the start line. John Hemming looks up the inside straight away of the visitor Les Hatch, but I don't think he's going to make that one stick into the bottom bend. Indeed, Les does stay ahead. Les, one of our visiting Stanlake drivers, and very welcome here today. As he looks around the outside, very quick turn of pace there around the outside of Terry Gallagher to take second. That was a superb drive into second position in the red and white Corsa. Indeed, he goes straight up the inside of track champion Mark Francis. So Les Hatch, absolute brilliant turn of pace. Oh, and again Richard Edmonds showing them how it's done as well as he goes up the inside and takes second. So our visitors take number 1 and 2 from the regulars here at Grimley.
5 laps, Andy.
John Hemmings up into third position, so Mark Francis, our track champion, lost 3 positions in a lap there. I think it's Richard Edmonds who's really trying his best. You can see he's sliding all over the place trying to get the power down in that Corsa. But it's Les Hatch that's leading the way in this one. His stablemate John not having quite the same luck in this one, but it's Richard Edmonds now up the inside of the other Stanlake visitors. So the Stanlake visitors really having a battle between themselves here up at the front of the 1-2. Very smart car is that from Richard Edmonds, and he seems to be getting it very sideways, but it doesn't seem to be hindering his progress. As they come across the back marking Terry Gallagher. Terry looks like he's hit some mechanical gremlins there as he's round the outside, but he stays well off the racing line and allows the quicker drivers through. But it's Richard Edmonds who's way out in front now in this one, got quite a distance on Les Hatch, who's now under pressure from John Hemming in the Corsa. And Mark Francis is also under pressure from John Hatch, one of our other visitors. So a superb battle here in the stock rods, which is great to see. It looks like second place is going to be hotly contested here. Indeed, straight over the line. It was Les Hatch that managed to hold on there from John Hemming. So good battle towards the end, but it was Les that held on, and Richard Edmonds it was that took the spoils in that one. So we'll set them off on their rolling lap if we can get them all going. Yep, we're all good. So Richard controls the pace on the rolling lap, watching for the green flag from Mr. Starter. So our Stanlake visitor Richard Edmonds sees the green and goes. So here we go, away with heat number 2 for the stock rods. So it's Richard Edmonds from John Hemming. And John Hemming, if he's going to make a move, it's going to have to be early in this one, because we know how quick Richard was in the first race. And then it's the Hatches, John and Les in 3rd and 4th in those matching courses. So John Hemming is not letting Richard get away here. And that's a really good turn of pace there from John Hatch, really late on the braking into the bends. They seem to have that extra advantage on the entrance to the much tighter pit bend, so it's an unusual asymmetry to the track here at Grimley, with the pit bend being much tighter. Bit of a nudge there from John Hemming on Richard Edmonds. That will go to the stewards to determine if that was significant in the race result. But it's Richard Edmonds who's still away. They need to keep out of the way of Terry Gallagher there, who's unfortunately conked out on the back straight, but pulls it to safety. Good to see Terry off in one piece there.
5 laps time.
So Richard Edmonds at the moment, flag to flag, he's still ahead. and they retain their positions. Very difficult to overtake on this very tight and short straights here at Grimley. So Richard Edmonds doing his best to stay ahead of John Hemming, our regular Grimley driver in 63. John's had a go in stock rods and in hot 1600s around this track, so he's very familiar with the circuit. It's just lots of turning right, if that's a clue. Richard Edmonds turns the pit bend now for the 3-lap board, so it's 3 laps this time by for Richard Edmonds. Mark Francis fails to make an impact on this one really from the back, just about keeping on the pace with the Stanlake visitors, but hasn't really impacted on the lead for this one, unfortunately. But we'll see if Mark can do a little bit more in the final later on today. Richard Edmonds now with several car lengths lead as he rounds the pit bend for the 1-lap board, so 1 lap remaining in this one. Mark Francis tries his best to get past John Hatch in the number 40 car, but I think he's going to struggle. He's running out of time here as we round the pit bend for the last time. So once again, it's 2 out of 2 for Richard Edmonds, followed by John Hemming in the runners-up position and Les Hatch in 62. So once again, Richard takes the win. Superb day for him so far, and I'm hoping we'll see him and his other visiting drivers back here next season. Not sure what's happened to some of our other drivers, but we do have out on track Richard Edmonds, who won both Heat 1 and 2, and we'll have less of a challenge here as there's only 3 drivers on track for this one. And it'll be the visitor versus our 2 regulars here, Mark Francis, track champion, and John Hemming in 63. John Hemming tried an early pass there, but can't match the pace of Richard Edmonds, who has absolute blistering pace in that Corsa. Mark Francis getting it very, very sideways coming out of the pit bend, but John Hemming's not going to let Richard get away with this. I think John clipped the wall there on the back straight. Don't know if he's picked up any damage there. He's really on the ragged edge trying to keep up with Richard Edmonds in 66. Maybe this isn't going to be as straightforward a victory as I assumed for Richard, as John Hemming's trying his absolute level best to keep up with him. So Richard Edmonds out in front from John Hemming, and Mark Francis, our track champion, in 3rd. Again, Mark getting it very far sideways, almost bending into the wall there, did Mark, but done well to keep it out of trouble. So Richard Edmonds, flag to flag so far. His progress unimpeded by John Hemming with 4 laps to go. If John's going to make a move, it's going to have to be soon. And often it will take a lap or 2 just to pull off a manoeuvre in these stock rods, as it's a long way around the outside. So once again, Richard Edmonds rounds the pit bend, but John Hemming right on his tail. I think John's actually gaining on him with 2 laps to go. I'm not sure if he's going to be close enough to make any sort of impact on Richard's success in this one. As we round for the final lap board, so 1 lap left to go in this one. John's going to have to make a lunge now if he's going to go for it, but I don't think he's going to have the momentum. Indeed, Richard Edmonds, our visiting driver, I understand from Stanlake, takes the spoils in this one once again, so it's a clean sheet for Richard Edmonds in 66, takes all 3 race wins today. An absolutely fantastic showing from the Corsa driver, as the drivers congratulate each other on the back straight.